Hello, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Spring has sprung, and you know what that means. Beautiful dogwoods blooming, a few pesky allergies like scratching my throat right now, and Arkansas storm season. Hey, it all comes with the territory of living in this amazing state. But listen up, because you can't make the weather do what you want it to do. You have to be prepared for it. So today I'm going to share some essential home safety tips to keep you and your loved ones safe during these stormy Arkansas nights. Whether you're a longtime resident or new to the area, it's crucial to be prepared when these ominous clouds start rolling in. So grab a pen and paper because we're diving into some essential tips. First things first, let's talk about the types of storms you might encounter here in Arkansas. Now, of course, you might think that we're in Tornado Alley, but I don't know of a lot of tornadoes right here in Cherokee Village, Highland, Hardy, Ash Flat area, in our essential area. I have heard of tornadoes come through Jonesboro. It took out the mall. It also hit near Little Rock and Wynn last year. So they are in the state, but right here in our area, we don't get a lot of tornadoes. There hasn't been one since I've been here. A couple times it's happened where they get straight line winds and you still get wind damage, but it's not like destructive where you see whole blocks gone. It's just a few houses that get hit and miss. Now we do get severe thunderstorms where you get a lot of lightning and thunder and hail. Now 2 years ago this month, April, we had a hailstorm come through and almost every roof in Cherokee Village was replaced because of that hailstorm. So we do have warning sirens, thankfully, in Cherokee Village and Hardy that go off if there's a storm warning, a thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, to make residents aware that it's time to take cover. But of course, you still want to make sure that you have other avenues that you're checking out the weather, make sure you're staying on top of any changes that are coming to your home or your area. You do want to make sure that you download a reliable weather app to your phone or bookmark it on your laptop, like the National Weather Service. That's a good website for the area. I also use K8, K-A-I-T, which is the weather station, the TV weather station in Jonesboro, so it's local to the area. Now, if you know a storm's coming, you don't want to just check it once a day. You want to stay on top of any forecast changes, that it's moving quicker, that it's moving slower, that it went around you. So just familiar yourself with the different types of severe weather alerts. Also, I really like the one that shows a cake mix and a finished cake. This is a tornado watch, this is a tornado warning. The ingredients are there for it to happen, but it hasn't been spotted yet. A tornado warning is when one has touched down or been spotted in the area and you need to take cover. Same thing goes with a thunderstorm watch, a thunderstorm warning. The ingredients are there, like the cold and hot air hitting each other, but there hasn't been any lightning or thunder heard or seen yet to actually indicate that it's actually in process. Of course, there's also flash flood watches. We'll get that because we have such a high water table in our area. We got a lot of wet weather creeks that fill up and then they pour into the lakes and the rivers, which can raise those bodies of water. So just make sure that you're aware of the different levels that you have to be aware of as that storm weather comes in. This way you'll have plenty of time to take cover if you're aware of that watch and that a warning may be coming. You might have to move your car to higher ground. A lot of the houses in the area are on the river or on a creek. Most of them are built on stilts, but they still may store things or vehicles under there, so you'd want to move them to higher ground if there is a flood warning. It's essential to understand the potential threats so you can absolutely prepare and respond when necessary. Now that you know what you're up against, it's time to create a safety plan. You want to involve your family or your coworkers in that safety plan so everybody's aware what to do when that warning or watch comes. You want to identify that safe shelter spot. Preferably it's in a basement, or if you don't have a basement, it can be on your main level, the most interior room. Hopefully it's away from windows. A bathtub is a good spot if you don't have a basement to go to. A lot of people that move to this area may ask for a storm shelter. A lot of houses out in the country will have a storm shelter that you can actually go into. They don't have a basement, so they can actually have a safe spot to go to, no matter what kind of storm it is. There are several homes in our area that do not have a basement. They only have a crawl space. They may even be on a slab. They don't have a storm shelter, but we do have facilities in the area that will often open up if there is severe weather coming. A lot of the local churches will open up their buildings so people have safe places to go to when that severe weather hits. And you want to have that designated area so everyone knows where to go to when that weather warning shows up. So you also want to practice taking cover in the spot so you know where to go to, everybody knows how to get there, and notify each other that you're okay if that weather has hit, so you can stay in touch, because sometimes the phone lines go down. So you want to have an alternate source of someone to get in touch with that may be outside the area. And even better is you want to have an emergency kit in that safe space. So you maybe have some games, some food, some water, so you can stay occupied, because you don't know how long you're going to be there. And that way you can take shelter quickly and calmly because you've already practiced it and you already know where that designated spot is. So what do you want to put in that emergency supply kit that you're going to have in your safe space, your emergency shelter? Of course, you want to have the essential items. You need to have water, enough water for one person for 3 days, and however many people that you're going to figure are going to be in that shelter. So a lot of water. You want to have non-perishable food items because you're probably only going to replenish this food maybe once a year. Luckily, you could do once a quarter. I wouldn't remember that often, but once a year. So you want something that's going to last a long time. Pop tops are best, so you don't have to have a can opener. You can also put a can opener in there. Plus, you want to have things like flashlight, batteries, and a first aid kit. You might get hurt on the way to the shelter. You might get hurt while you're in the shelter. You don't know how long you're going to be there. You could be trapped in there. And you also want to have a battery-powered radio because it might have taken out the cell service of the power and you just don't know. You want to be able to stay in touch with the outside world and get updates on what the storm is doing and if you can come out. And not only that, you may want to have some games like just a deck of cards or board games that you don't play very often to keep you occupied, especially if you have kids, to help them calm down and not focus on what's going on with the storm. And don't forget about your pets. You're going to want to have them in the storm shelter with you too, so you need to have food and water for them and bowls and maybe their favorite chew toy, because again, they're going to be stressed out about the storm too. I know my animals get more stressed out than I do. So it's better to have those items on hand and not need them and find yourself scrambling when that disaster strikes. So not only have that emergency kit, but put it in your safe place so it's already there when you get there. Even when storms aren't looming, there are other spring safety topics to consider, like water safety. As temperatures rise, many of us will be flocking to the water for some much needed relief from the heat. But before you dive in, it's crucial to brush up on your water safety. Whether it's swimming in the pool or the lake or the ocean or the river, it's always best to swim with a buddy. And actually it's best to swim with two buddies so that if somebody gets hurt, one can stay with them and one can go for help. You also want to make sure that you watch any for signs like don't swim here or slow down or no running if you're at the pool. So that's all for safety. You want to make sure that you don't get hurt, and never underestimate the power of currents or tides or sinkholes, which we do have in the river, and they have signs posted around them. I think they've tried to fix them, but I'm not sure because I'm not in the river a whole lot. But also remember to stay hydrated, because when you're in the pool, you're thinking, oh, I'm all wet, I don't need to be hydrated. But you're out in the sun, and therefore you can't get dehydrated, and also getting sunburnt can make you dehydrated. So you do want to wear sunscreen and be mindful of hazards like uneven terrain or getting stuck in the mud or hot surfaces. If you're planning on getting in a boat, make sure you know the rules of the body of water you're on. And it's a really good idea to take a boat safety class, and they have those available online, whether you're riding or driving, because you never know when you might have to take over as a driver if the driver comes incapacitated. Our furry friends love springtime just as much as you and me. It's essential to keep their safety top of mind as well. So be mindful of potential hazards like toxic plants or the pesticides that you put on them, and insecticides that you put on your yard to keep away ticks and fleas, and also hot pavement while you're walking them daily. If it's too hot for you, it's too hot for them, and it's easy to forget because we got shoes on. Don't forget to keep them up to date on their vaccinations and flea and tick preventative, because you know they can get tick diseases just like we can, and that Lyme disease as well as other tick spotted fever and things like that can really bring you down. And I've had animals die from tick fever, so it is important to keep them up to date on that so that they can stay healthy and enjoy a long and happy, healthy life. When a storm is on the horizon or Arkansas storm season is coming, it's crucial to secure your home to minimize that potential damage. You definitely want to trim back any overhanging branches so that they don't fall and make holes in your roof or just knock shingles off. You want to also secure any outdoor furniture or grills or maybe decorations and games that you have on your patio. All of that can turn into projectiles with high winds and hails and tornadoes. So you want to get those secured so they don't hurt your house. And don't forget to check your garage door if you have one. It's one of the most vulnerable parts of your home during a storm. Make sure it's working and it can withstand those strong winds that come with those storms. You can also consider investing in a storm shelter and have that installed on your property, storm shutters to reinforce doors and windows to protect your home from those high winds and flying debris that could easily break a window. Thanks for joining us today to learn about spring safety topics for Arkansas storm season. Remember, preparation is key when it comes to staying safe in the severe weather. Pay attention to those weather forecasts and alerts, and don't hesitate to seek shelter if conditions worsen. Take the time to put together that safety plan, gather your emergency supplies, and stay informed. In the meantime, check out this video I did on spring updates so you can update your outdoor area so you can enjoy it before that storm comes. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.